Okay, so tonight we're going to continue with Sefer Hoshe'a, right? The class in Sefer Hoshe'a, the SCA Summer 2020 Learning. So last week, I know if you weren't here last week, we were talking about the prophecy given to Hoshe'a to go marry a Zonah. Okay, to go marry a Zonah, an Eshet Zinunim, and have children with her. Okay, look carefully at the screen if you can in front of you. He has two children, one a boy and one a girl. Okay, the boy's name is over here Yisrael. Okay, Yisrael is about the whole Ahav and about Bet Yehu and the negative part of the Malchei Yisrael. And then Didi, as you see over here, the name of the second child, a girl, is Lo Ruhama. Okay, Lo Ruhama, no Rahamim, no compassion, no mercy. And they gave birth to children that decided that God would not be their God, and God decided that they would not be their nation. Good? Okay, so we have this prophecy given to Hoshe'a about Shivtei Yisrael, who are not willing to attach to God. And then we have Yehuda, who's willing to attach to God. Now, these next Pesukim, we're going to start Perek Bet now. And we're going to end tonight's class, hopefully, with the wonderful Pesukim. So we're going to start this Perek and try to figure out, is the beginning of this Perek positive or negative? Okay, that's going to be our job right now. Figure out if this is a positive nivu'ah or negative nivu'ah. Okay, I'm going to read. והיה מספר בני ישראל כחול הים אשר ימד ולא יספר והיה במקום אשר יאמר להם לא עמי אתם יאמר להם בני אל חי. Okay, so the numbers of Bnei Israel will be like the sand of the sea that cannot be measured or counted. And instead of being called Lo Ami, you're not my nation, you'll be called Bnei El Hai, the children of the living God. Now, is this negative or positive? Right? Negative or positive? Bnei Israel will be numerous and will be called not my nation, rather the children of the living God. Is this positive or negative? So very good. This looks positive. Look at the next pasuk. V'nikbesu bnei Yehuda ubnei Yisrael yachtav v'samu lahem rosh echad ve'adu min haaretz ki gadol yom Yisrael, and they'll be gathered together, bnei Yehuda bnei Yisrael, and they'll have one leader, ve'alu min haaretz. We'll see what that means. Ki gadol yom Yisrael, because the day of Yisrael will be marvelous. What are we talking about over here? Right? What exactly are we talking about? Let's look at the Mefarshim. Right? Last week we looked at the Radak and Ibn Ezra. Let's look at them right now. Ibn Ezra says this is talking about the Galut, and they don't fear God. And it says, Tahat asher lo avavta, meaning they call themselves Bnei El Hai. They call themselves the children of the living God, but they're really not the children of the living God. Meaning, according to Ibn Ezra, this is not positive. This is them branding themselves Bnei El Hai, but really they're Lo Ami. And he explains the next pasuk as follows. That Sanheriv Melech Ashur, Assyria, is going to try to destroy both of them. Okay? This is how Ibn Ezra looks at it. The Radak looks at it as positive, and he says, and if you want to read it, look over here. I'll make it very large over here. Okay, in the days of the Mashiach, this is the nivu'ah for the future. Ki bebait sheni lo alu ela Yehuda ubinyanim shigalu b'Bavel v'ayu b'nei Yehuda ubnei Yisrael yachtav. This is the time of the Mashiach. This is a vision for the Geulah. Okay, so there's a mahloket here, whether these are positive or negative. The next part, however, let's see, Imru la'achechem ami v'la'achotechem ruhama. Call your brothers my nation, and your sisters ruhama. Meaning, according to the opinion, this is positive. There's a positivity in the future. There's a possible nehama. Boys, what does this remind us of? What type, if this is positive, what type of nevuah this reminds us of? And think of this week, of this Thursday, and then in 3 weeks of Tisha B'Av. This reminds us of the consolation following the destruction. Right, it is the names of the children, Moshe. It's the names of the children, but it's the reverse. Imru la'achechem ami v'la'achotechem ruhama. Meaning, right, for those of you that are just joining us, Imru la'achechem ami v'la'achotechem ruhama. According to the opinion that these first two Pesukim are a positive nivu'ah for the future, Imru la'achechem ami. This is the reverse of the names. The names were Lo Ami and Lo Ruhama. Right? Very good. Right? Very good. The very good, Moshe. If we go back to the Perek we were talking about, we're saying his name is Yisrael, right? And we said Yisrael is not my nation, right? Lo Ami. Actually, Lo Ami is the grandson, sorry. Lo Ami was the grandson. Okay, so the grandson was Lo Ami, and the girl's name was Lo Ruhama. And here you have the reverse, Ami and Ruhama. Okay, so up till here, there's a mahloket whether this is positive or negative, because look at the next pasuk. Ribu be'immechem ribu, ki hi lo ishti, ve'anochi lo isha, ve'taser zenunea mipanea, ve'na'afufea mi ben shadea. Says the Navi, or God says, and the Navi says it's Bnei Israel, rebuke your mother, because she is not my wife. Now, who's the mother in this nivuah? Boys, who's the mother? Do you remember who the mother was? What does it mean when it's talking about the mother? So it's a mahloket, whether the mother is the shevet, or the mother could be the mother who was Lo Ruhama. Right? It could be the girl that was born. Right, so it probably is the Zonah. Probably, very good. Moshe, thanks for reminding me over there. It probably is the Zonah. Let's go back to that pasuk. Her name being Gomer bat Divlaim, the mother. And the mother was the Zonah. And the Zonah represents Shivtei Yisrael, the Yisrael tribes, turning away from God. Well, again, it's a mashal, but turning away from the husband. So now God is saying, you have to get rid of your zenut. Pen afshitena aruma, lest I strip her naked. Vehisagtia kiyom ivaleda, vesamtia chamidbar veshatia keretzia, v'amitia basama. Lest I make her like a wilderness, render her like desert land, and let her die of thirst. Interestingly enough, who does this remind us of in Tanakh? A woman that goes to the midbar and she almost dies from lack of water. Very good. Interestingly enough, strangely enough, maybe, it reminds us of Hagar. Very good, Ezra. Which is strange. Maybe it's not strange, because she's a woman and she comes from Mitzrayim. And if you think about the nations that Am Yisrael mostly, turned to with the Zenut, was Ashur and Mitzrayim. Just something to put out there. Interesting that is the imagery that we're reminded of. Ve'et baneha lo arachem ki bene zenunim hema. And her children, I will not have compassion and mercy for. Kizaneta imam. Now it's interesting. The Navi keeps going. God keeps going. You made your point. Could someone answer why does God, the Navi was reflecting God's word, why continue and keep on repeating this? I mean, you said it in the first Perek. Now you're saying it again. Kizaneta imam. Hovisha oratam. Ki amera elecha achare me'abay notene lahmi umemai. Samri ufishti shamni v'shikuyai. Right? Because this Zonah thought, I will go after my lovers. They'll supply me bread, water, wool, linen, oil, drink. Why is the Navi repeating this again? Okay. So one way of looking at it is to let it sink in. Very good. What I heard, and I'm trying to think where I heard it from, is that Nevi'im many times, in order to make their message clear, needed to be exaggerating. They needed to exaggerate their message. In order to exaggerate the message, the Navi needs to make clear, right? Use exaggerated language. It captures audiences, right? So the Navi even needs to do something strange. So maybe the Navi tells the people, quote unquote, in my nevuah, right, I married a zonah. People go, what? In your nevuah, you married a zonah? Who would do that? And then what would he answer to them? Or what would he answer to them? Who would marry a zonah in their nevuah? He would tell them, you, look at you. You did zenut, and you're supposed to be, quote unquote, with your connection with God. So you do something that's supposed to be looked at strange to catch attention. לכן הניסח את ערכך בסירים וגדרתי את גדרה ונתיבותיה לא תמצא. So I will hedge up her roads with thorns and raise walls against her, and she shall not find her paths. The paths, netivoteha. Any of you know where that word is used in Tanakh, netivoteha? Someone finish this phrase. V'chol netivoteha. What's the next word? I'm going to wait in. I know a couple of you need to chat instead of actually speaking. V'chol netivoteha. Come on. Shalom. Shalom. V'chol netivoteha shalom. All the ways of the Torah lead to shalom. But if you're not staying on the path, who does that remind us of, boys? Who does a woman who's not on the path, what word do we have for her? Besides v'zona, what word do we have for a woman that's not on the path? Right, famous Perek in Chumash in Parashat Naso, the Isha Sota, she sways from, right, her husband. Here, this woman, what does she do? Not only does she sleep with other men, quote unquote, which is the other nations, she runs after them. V'ridefa et me'ahavea v'lo tasich otam ubikashatam v'lo timsa ve'amera elecha ve'ashuva el ishi arishon ki tovli az me'ata. She pursues her lovers, but she doesn't get them. And she tries to find them, doesn't find them, and she goes, I'm going to go back to my original lover. Who knows the halakha in the Torah when a woman gets divorced, or the husband, the woman now goes to a second husband, and the second husband doesn't love her, and she tries to go back to the first husband. What's the halakha? Any of you? What's the halakha when it comes to that? While you're trying to answer that, I will open it up in Sefaria. Right, she can't. Very good. It's actually a pasuk in Devarim. I'm trying to remember where. I think it's chapter 24. I think I looked at it today, actually, for a different reason. Here it is, chapter 24. I actually stumbled onto this paddock today. I was actually looking at something in chapter 23, but I thought it was in 24. But this is how I found it. So a woman gets married, and he doesn't like her, so he divorces her. Moshe, we were just saying that Bnei Israel are saying we want to go back to our original husband because her other men that she chases after, she can't find them. Okay? Usne'ah ha'isha haron. Usne'ah. He hates her. Bechat avla sefer keritut v'natan beyada v'shilechah mibeto. Ochi yamut ha'isha haron asher lekachah lo le'isha. So he rejects her and he divorces her. And what happens? Can someone read this pasuk? Can someone read this pasuk? Pasuk 4 in chapter 24 in Devarim. Anybody? Any takers? Lo yucha ba'la harishon asher shilecha לשוב לקחתה להיות לו לאישה אחרי אשר הוא טמאה כי תועבה היא לפני אדוני ולא תחתי את הארץ אשר לרחם נותנך נחלה. The original husband is not allowed to take her as a wife because she was defiled and it's a to'eva. It's abominable. ולא תחתי את הארץ אשר לרחם נותנך נחלה. And she should not make the land, you should not make the land impure by doing that. Meaning, straying from God is of this order of you can't come back so easily. I'd like to venture to say that the other day I was asking someone if we actually, at this point in time, it's now July 7th, 2020, and I asked the question, and this is, I think, about this question of going back to Ishi Harishon, to the first husband, which is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You know, you talk about these times and what the message really is. I mean, for me, it's really glaring, and I haven't spoken about it in weeks, I think, because in the beginning, everyone was talking so much about Corona and the message. And I just said the other day, do people really get it, including myself, that we are just not in control of certain aspects of our life when it comes to finances, when it comes to business, when it comes to just how our days are working and everything we had planned gets thrown out of order. And I think it's just important to stop here and say, you know, God is constantly telling Bnei Israel, look at this pasuk. Vehi lo yade'a ki anochi natati lah hadagan v'atirosh v'yizhar. Consider the fact that the woman, this Zonah, did not know that I gave her all of the food and clothing as well. We'll see in the next pasuk that she had in the first place. And instead they use it for Baal. So you have this understanding, this idea of giving things to people, right? Affording us the opportunity to live, and then did we really take proper gratitude along with that? And look what God says over here. Lachen ashuv velakahti degani be'ito be'tiroshi be'mo'ado. You know we say benatati esev deganecha, right? We say in Shema be'ito yore umakosh. God will give food in its right time. Here, no, I'm going to take it back, God says. I'm going to take back my wool that was used to cover your nakedness, and now you'll be naked. Now you'll be exposed. This I look at, this idea. I'm going to uncover her shame in front of her lovers, and no one will be able to save her. So Bnei Yisrael being told, right, you weren't grateful. And instead you went from God to God, from nation to nation, and God to God, away from me. And you know what I'm going to do? V'hishbati kol mesosa, Hagah, Hoshe'a, v'Shabbatah, v'chol mo'adah. I will end all the rejoicing, the festivals, the new moons, meaning Rosh Chodesh, Shabbatot, all the festive seasons will be ended. Okay, but there is a positive, we'll get to there, but right now God's talking about the punishment. Vashimoti gafna ut'enata asher amera etna hem mali asher natinuli me'ahavai v'samtim leyad ba'achalatam hayat hasadeh. I will lay waste the vines and the fig trees, which she thinks, when she acted in her way with her lovers, that she received as a fee from her lovers. She thinks, oh, I got all these gifts from being in Isha Zonah, from all of my lovers, and God lays them waste. ופקדתי עליהם את ימי הבעלים אשר תקטיב להם, ותעד נזמה בחלייתה, ותלך אחרי מאהביה, ואותי שכחה נאום אדוני. Right? You forgot me. You forgot me. Now, what do you expect the next pasuk to be? It says, you forgot God. I never expected, I read this perek a couple of times, I never expected the next few pasukim. Really did not. And it's fascinating that we have to either think one of two things. Either the next nivu'ah is years later, or God never wanted to leave it on a negative. Right? There's this negative nivu'ah, what's going to happen? But there's going to be positive if you're willing to get the positive. Look at the next pasuk. והיה ביום ההוא נאום אדוני תקראי אישי ולא תקראו לי עוד בעלי. In that day, you will call me my husband, and no more will you call me Ba'ali. Anyone want to venture why God doesn't want to be called Ba'ali, rather wants to be called Ishi? Why does God want to be called her husband, Israel's husband, but the word Ishi and not Ba'li? I see Moshe might be typing. Maybe Isha Zonah. How about no? Ba'al. What does Ba'al remind you of? Avodah Zarah. Right? Ba'al's Avodah Zarah. Look at the next pasuk. Vahasiroti et shemot ha'be'alim mipia velo yizacheru od bishmam. He doesn't want to be used, that word Ba'al. You're my Ba'al. Because Ba'al was the name of the Avodah Zarah. Like Ba'al Peor. וחרתי להם ברית ביום ההוא עם חיית השדה ועם עוף השמיים ורמס האדמה וקשת וחרב ומלחמה אשבור מן הארץ והשקפתים לבטח. I'm going to make a berit not only with the people, but with the hayot, the off, and the remes. What does this remind us of? What is this a remaking of? When do you have a berit with the Hayat HaSadeh and the Of HaShamayim in Tanakh? Anyone know? When the first berit was made with the animals. While I open it up, if any of you know, chime in. But there was a berit early on that was made even with the animals as well. Beni uben kol haya. No one?
Okay.
No. The first berit is with the keshet, the rainbow. And look what it says. I'm going to make a berit with you, ve'et kol nefesh haya, ba'of and behema, the keshet. Look at the next word in this pasuk. I'm going to make a berit, and I'm going to remove the keshet cherev milchama. But it's not talking about removing the good keshet. It's talking about removing the destructive keshet, the bow that murders. So look what the Navi is doing carefully. That's the way I look at it. Because it's so strange. Why doesn't it say, I'll make a berit with the humans and the hayot? The Navi wants to remind you about the keshet berit, but it wants you to realize that the way that the keshet berit was being destroyed was by the other keshet. Fascinating. Contrast. The keshet was the berit with the people. It was the positive. And instead it's used to destroy the land. So God says, I'm going to make a berit, but get rid of the bad keshet. And now we'll end the class with the following last two pesukim, and you know them, and I hope you know them by heart. Ve'erastich li le'olam, ve'erastich li b'sedek u'mishpat, u'b'chesed u'b'rachim, ve'erastich li be'emunah be'yada'at et Adonai. Boys, when did we say this? Right? Tefillin. Tefillin. We say this when we put on tefillin. Think carefully about what this means. Because what we just spoke about, and then, one second, what? Tefillin, ve'erastich li le'olam. What is God talking about over here? We were just talking about Bnei Yisrael doing evil, and then God saying you're going to call me Ishi, my Ish. Tefillin ve'erastich. Let's explain. What's le'eros in Tanakh? What is erusin? What is erusin? Let's try to get you a erusin, right? Erusin is engagement. Okay, it's the word to engage. When you get engaged to a woman, you engage her. God is as if being engaged to Bnei Yisrael. How? Olam. This should also remind us of the keshet, right? A berit forever. Ve'erastich li besedek u'mishpat u'b'chesed u'b'rachamim. And God will espouse you with righteousness and justice, with goodness and mercy. Look at the word rahamim, right? Remember, lo ruhama, this is rahamim. Ve'erastich li be'emunah. And also with emunah, ve'yada'at et Adonai. And you will, yedi'ah of God, by the way, is talking about like a close relationship with God. So look over here. 3 different things, right? We do each finger of ending the tefillin wrapping. Think about what that means. Ve'erastich li le'olam, gets 1 wrap. Besedek u'mishpat u'b'chesed rachamim, another. And emunah, the last one. Right? This is the relationship between us and God. The Midrash mentions that when we wear tefillin, quote unquote, but when we really wear tefillin, God, quote unquote, puts on his tefillin. Right? And we're saying there's no one like God, and God's saying, Umi ke'amecha ki Yisrael goy echad ba'aretz. There's none like Israel. What do you mean there's none like Israel? Didn't we leave God? Didn't we turn away from God? The answer is yes. It happened in our history, we turned away from God. But the teshuvah of returning to God comes with a new berit. And this new berit, by Yom Ha'u, the berit of us returning to God, happens with that. Right? It happens through Sedek, Mishpat, Chesed, and Rahamim, and Emunah. Right? So we have to be acting in righteousness and justice, with goodness and mercy. But who's the one doing this? Is it us getting engaged to God or God getting engaged to us? Which one is it? Which one is it? It sounds like God is proposing to us. God is asking back for our hand in marriage. Yes, Moshe. Can't hear you. Can't hear you for some reason. God is asking for our hand in marriage back. He's willing to, as we go back to the Pasuk, God, oh wow. I just noticed that I mistakenly skipped two Pesukim. I never do that ever. I guess this bar was on top of it. I'm going to go back to them. It says that God says, in order to get to this state of this marriage, quote unquote, I'm sorry I skipped these. לכן הנה אנוכי מפתיה והולכתיה במדבר ודיברתי על ליבה. Before this happens, God says, I'm going to coerce Bnei Israel, bring her to the Midbar, and speak to her tenderly, softly. ונתתי לה את כרמיה משם, ואת עמק אחור לפתח תקווה. I'm going to give her vineyards from there. I'm going to take what was the valley of Achor and give it as a place of hope. What is Bnei Israel going to respond? Yes. This is the proposal. Sorry, I didn't mean to skip this. It was just a mistake. There's a proposal here. God is going to speak on Bnei Israel's heart. Where do we have this in Tanakh? In the Nahamu Ami, right? The second half of Sefer Yeshaya, where the Navi is told, God says, Nahamu Ami, comfort, oh comfort my people. Remember, we have a fast day this week that starts this idea of the Ben HaMetzarim that leads up to Tisha B'Av. And right after Tisha B'Av, we have Shabbat Nahamu. And Shabbat Nahamu is about speaking about on the heart of Yerushalayim, calling out to Yerushalayim and saying, come back. This is what this Nevuah is about. Bnei Israel is this like God speaking to Bnei Israel with these words of come, I'm going to marry you. I'm proposing to you with Sedek, Mishpat, Hesed, Rahamim, and let's have a relationship. Yedi'ah is a relationship. In Tanakh, actually, Lada'at is a man-woman relationship, right? Bi'ada'at et Adonai. So here you have, like Moshe, you're saying, you will be devoted to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's the ultimate goal, your devotion to God. And that's what the Navi is asking of us, right? Asking of us to be part of this relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But how? Through Sedek, Mishpat, Chesed, and Rahamim, and ultimately faithfulness, right? A Zonah, right? This woman that Hoshe'a in this Nevuah, quote unquote, is marrying, not really marrying, but in Nevuah, there's no emunah there. The only way to get rid of this negative relationship is by the emunah. And so you see the ultimate goal, Yedi'ah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That should be our goal. The goal of studying Torah, of Tanakh, Halacha, Gemara, Midrash, Mishnah. The goal of this is coming closer to God and knowing more about God. The more we can know about God, the more we can get closer to Him, the more we could know Him, quote unquote, and find a love for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Adonai Olam, Amen v'Amen.